Naomi, well done. You're running 7th, Gareth, well done.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Naomi loves it when I say that, don't you?
Hello.
Episode 43, Cookies Rambles. Nearly end of year, aren't we? So we got, I've done an episode a week, we've got roughly 9 weeks until end of year or something like that, but that's me guessing. I've not done it exact. So it's been the week after Yorkshire Marathon. Marathon's no longer the focus as I'm seeing out the year, and started to wind down and reflect on what a marathon block's been and all that sort of stuff. So this week in Cookies Rambles, I'll be talking about what really I do the week after a marathon and a focus marathon, and then I'll talk about my training week as well. So yeah, join us on what's going to be another, I'd say, fulfilling Cookies Rambles episode. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
This morning went out, watched the Leeds Abbey Dash. So we had out the training group that trains with us. We just had Ruby really that was targeting the Abbey Dash as a target race. So we took a gang of us up to go and run alongside her on the canal, and then watch and spectate at the Abbey Dash. So yeah, that was quite interesting, watching the Abbey Dash this morning, and it's bloody quick, that course, like as an effort compared to what we're used to anyway as marathon runners. Naomi's just struggling to cross the river, look.
I'm stuck.
Go on.
Where's the dog?
Bessie's gone and waiting for you.
Bessie, come on. Do you remember the time?
Ruby managed to PB, so I think our cheering and spectating must have spurred her on, that's what I'm claiming. She broke 36 minutes and got 35.59, so did really well. It's her second 10k as well this year. I think if I do a 10k next, I've not done that many this year either. So yeah, week in training after Yorkshire Marathon. Kicked off Monday and I did 10 mile. It was just nice and easy, nice and slow. Not done any sessions this week, just avoiding all them, and that's one of the things that I try and do the week after a marathon. But I'll delve into that a bit more later. So 10 mile Monday, it was split over 2 runs, morning and night, but felt quite comfortable, and I wasn't ripping up any records. And then Tuesday went out in the morning, 5 mile. Then in the evening the gang were on the Whaley lap, which is a mile away from our house. So me, Naomi and Bessie jogged down to the Whaley lap, did their warm up with them, and then jogged back. And then into Wednesday, 11 mile on Wednesday, split over.
There's a fox.
Oh, there's a fox, but I can't zoom in on my GoPro. Give me a minute. Yeah, so that was me being David Attenborough and Naomi. So yeah, 11 mile on Wednesday, again split over 2 runs, so 8 in the morning. Then the evening went out and did just 5k, kept it short and sweet. And I've started doing a route that's 2 mile up and then 1 mile down, so it makes me feel right good on my last mile, because it's all downhill, which is always a little tasty thing, isn't it? And then in the Thursday, 13 miles, so it got really warm in the morning. Put a rain jacket on, but it was still like 15 degrees and got really sweaty. My rain jacket was like a bin bag, so yeah, that weren't a good idea. Both me and Kai both said we're too warm. He had a long sleeve top on, or a raincoat as well, so yeah, bad idea. So name is Strava title, sweaty, warm, too warm, shouldn't have wore a coat. By mile 7, coat was ripped off. Then in the evening, ran from my parents, so back up at their house. Did a 5 mile loop, and it felt way much flatter than where we live now. So what? Way much flatter. So enjoyed that. Back on an old route that I'd say is an old favourite, but I just used to loop loads of the times when I lived up there. And then into Friday, kept it at singles. Had to be in the office for 9 o'clock. Didn't wake up in time, and just did. Naomi drove me in because it was raining, even though we live a mile away. And I ran with Ruby and Kai, so I treated on Friday. Ran with Ruby and Kai on the roads. It was raining and minging again. Got very, very wet, and then ended up doing 7 mile Friday morning. Another thing I did this week as well, So I did a strength and conditioning session. So every time Naomi's just gone, you done the strength sessions, just because I ain't got a gym membership doesn't mean my arms are massive. Doesn't mean that I don't do strength sessions. So every time Naomi goes swimming, it's sort of like my secret training. So I get a bar out of the shoe cupboard.
2 kilogram bar.
Yeah, it's a 10 kilogram bar, so you don't.
That heavy.
Yeah, you don't need very heavy stuff. So all I was doing was some simple body weight with a little bit of resistance and strength training stuff. So I did record it for you, so you can watch that a little bit. And it looks fabulous because I am a top-notch physical athlete in prime shape, and honestly my body looks like Schwarzenegger. So yeah, it doesn't have to be anything too complex, but to me it's all about nailing the basics right when it comes to strength and conditioning. So yeah, just adding that into, might choose to add it into your stuff, but that's sort of what I do as well. But yeah, obviously strength and conditioning has got its own little perks and benefits for making you stronger and more efficient as a runner or as a athlete, which obviously that's what we're all looking for, aren't we? Big puddle, looks like it's flooded. So yeah, there's my snippet anyway of my little strength and conditioning that I did. It was Friday night actually, this week that I did it, because I let my body recover first before actually doing it this week, because muscles were a bit sore, and my shoulder has been a little bit sore actually since I fell on it the other day. So getting the bar across the back of my neck, yeah, across the back of my neck has been a bit of a struggle, but it's something that I can do and it's got better. So I have been doing a little bit of shoulder strength on it as well, and simple stuff just to try and make that a bit stronger, because I think I did damage my rotator cuff when I fell over with Kai the other week. So yeah, that's my strength training session anyway, and I hope that you've enjoyed just having that little glimpse. It might give you some ideas, but it's just about nailing the basics right, and getting them right. You shouldn't go too far wrong. And then Saturday, so Frickley parkrun. So before, a couple of, well, I'd say about a month ago, Naomi arranged with Jane, who used to do Barza parkrun a lot, that we'd go to Frickley and go for a coffee after with her. So I went to Frickley parkrun. It's been raining like it has been for the rest of England. We're no different in Barnsley or Yorkshire. So yeah, it were like rivers running down the coal mining. It's an old mud stack, down the little hills and troughs, and you go up a zigzag path, and it were literally a river running down. Quite a lot of Yorkshire's flooded from the floods, even though it's the first bit of rain that we've had all year. And yeah, that made it an interesting parkrun. Got very muddy, but I clocked 17:30 for the parkrun and felt quite comfortable. Bessie for her little legs did quite well actually, and her and Naomi probably pulled each other around and got we're at 22 and a half. Yeah, 22 and a half minutes. So first dog, first female, first man at parkrun, but it is a run, not a race, and enjoyed it. It's quite a quiet one, Frickley, and I think that's why I enjoy it. But the people there were really nice as well, proper Yorkshire folk. So yeah, that. And then we went to Aquif Garden Centre afterwards, and that was quite good for breakfast. And then did all my parkrun mileage, which was 7 miles in the morning. Came back in the evening and did an extra 5k in the evening when we got home after spending a full day out and about around the world. And then into Sunday, so we arranged to go to Leeds Canal, run along the canal, which is quite a pretty flat, easy run. So it runs from Leeds to Liverpool. We didn't get all the way to Liverpool, so me and Nate, Birdie had 6 miles to do, so we went out and back with him on the canal for 6 miles, and then came off and ran up the Abbey Dash route. Oh, now we've spotted an heron. I don't think I can catch that on camera, it's going way too quick. Wow. Yeah. So we're not going to go on the bottom of the hill so we don't disturb the fox. So yeah, then ran up the Leeds Abbey Dash route to Kirkstall Abbey, went out and back on there, and ended up doing 14 miles with Nathan Doy for the full duration of it. Naomi and Bessie jogged 2 miles this morning, so Naomi's had a sniffly cough cold for the last few days, so she's been taking it easy, hasn't you? After hitting your target last week, had a good down week.
Gabby, tell me about
Well
it.
done.
Can you see her? Where is she? What?
Well done, John. Well done. Well done, John. He did nothing wrong. You know that last ramp or something? Go on, Ruby! Come on, Phil, push, mate. Go on, Ruby, keep pushing. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well, you look ridiculous, love. So yeah, that's been training week. I've done 77 miles this week, so considerably lower, but still more than marathon week by some sort of accident, if I'm being honest. Not been targeting that, it's just what I've run, and I've run for fun, like just run to get out, enjoy it, and being outside in the open air. This is just skidded, and doing what I love and enjoy. Ow. Yeah, so I've wrote 6 things down on my notes on my phone just to talk about. So I've done plenty of marathons now. I've done 39 marathons, and I always say every single time, like every time you do a marathon and every time you do, well, any training block or anything in life and you focus on it, it teaches you something about yourself. So you learn something, and every day is a school day. I think I said it last week on my video, in fact. So I've done 39. I'm by no means experienced, but it's stuff that I've learned and stuff that I might be able to teach you lot that's listening as well. Just kicking a ball if I fall over. Don't do that week after a marathon. So yeah, you might learn it from me as well. So Cookie of old had jumped straight back into 100% training and knock out exactly the same high mileage 130 mile weeks that he did in marathon training anyway. So what I've had to learn is, after a marathon, one of the most important things that you need to do is rest. Because a marathon block, and that focus is a long way. So yeah, it's important to just rest, recover, and take it all in and let your body absorb everything else that you've done, and get your soreness out of your muscles post-marathon, which is important. Another thing as well, like a marathon block, a marathon block can take stuff out of you, so yeah, mentally and physically. So that rest obviously allows your body to reset so that you don't burn out in 6 months time when you have had enough, and you lose motivation and all that. It's happened to me, happens to everyone, it's normal. Like we're only people, we're not machines chiseled just to knock out perfect times after perfect times, and success is never a linear straight line. It is ups, peaks, troughs, backward steps and forward steps. So yeah, that's just natural. And then another thing that you need to do is eat. So fuel, it's simple in it, but people like think I'm not doing as much training, I don't need enough I don't need as many calories. But your body has got soreness in it, and to cure that soreness you need protein for one, but you need to eat and fuel correctly, because if not you'll be in depletion mode very quickly. And it's sort of like an afterburner. So doing the marathon, especially the day after, your body will burn more calories because it needs it to recover, and your heart rate will still be high and all that sort of stuff. So it's important just to remember to eat. Even though you're not doing as much, it's still important to fuel, otherwise you'll be in energy depletion and you'll start losing a lot of weight, and it'll be weight that you lose in the wrong way. So yeah, it's important that you eat and fuel correctly. And another thing that you need to do that bounces from the third and then into the fourth is reflect. So reflect on the stuff that went right and the stuff that went wrong. Because in marathon training and in marathon race, there'll be stuff that did go right and stuff that did go wrong. So I've done it this week. I've reflected, so didn't do enough marathon specific mileage building into Berlin and Yorkshire. So for my next one, it's important that I do more marathon specific mileage. So that's my long sessions, like my free bike. It might be 3x5k. I've done 4x5 mile before. It might be 20-minute blocks at tempo pace or threshold zones and all that sort of stuff. But like me knowing that and me being able to reflect on that is because I'm in tune with my body and what it wants, and I've learned and adapted. And Bessie's just run into a river, and that's not all to do with reflecting. She's now going to drink some stream water. Oh, she's just peed in it and now she's drinking it. Perfect. Yeah, so reflecting on what happened so that next time you can bounce forward and do it so much better. Or it's just an experiment, like I've said before, like burning magnesium in science at school. It's just an experiment that you need to get right or wrong, and little balances might change what you do. And then another thing that you need to do is look forward. So you can't always be looking backwards and thinking, this is what I have done, like this is so fantastic, or this is rubbish, or blah blah blah. You need to look forward, start putting some stuff in for the winter so that you can bounce into something else. So I've been looking forward and looking at other events, other races, other stuff that I can do to bounce forward into the marathon next year. Yeah, that's it, Bess. You can destroy that bridge. Bounce into a marathon next year. So been looking at that, started planning Percy Pud, Doncaster 10k and various other events that I've been looking forward to doing, and then whether it's 5k or some short stuff, and I'm quite excited actually to do some shorter stuff with my little legs.
Bessie, get your ball, find it.
Go on, Bess, get your ball. Go on then, cross.
Throw it in.
Bessie,
Bessie, you know, don't drink out of it. Please.
get your ball.
Get your ball, it's coming. Bessie, ball.
It's going to get real quick. Oh no, it's gone to the side.
Get it.
That's like in the awkward bit where you can't get it.
Bessie.
Yeah, so you should be constantly like looking forward instead of looking backwards, because if we always look into history, we're never going to take that step forwards. So yeah, you were always better in my day. And then another thing as well, you might have done really well at the marathon, and I've been a sucker for this in the past. So I used to have a good year which would fall on like an odd number, so it'd be like 2017 were a good year, 2019 were a good year, and then sometimes I'd really struggle because I'd get complacent. So after the marathon, if you've done really well, or any event or target that you've tried to hit, you might have done really well at it, but it's very important that you don't get complacent, so that you know that you've got to put the hard work in to get to that level again and beat and improve that level. So yeah, not get complacent, because on your day there's always going to be someone better than you, and there's always going to be someone worse than you. It's just about, well, worse might not be the right thing, turning up every single day and being the best version of yourself, which sounds like a motivational speaker thing, doesn't it? So Cookie coming up with motivational words. And then last one as well, last one that week after a marathon, like you should be doing, and I could be a sucker for this because yes, I did do Berlin and yes, I did do York, but it was always on my radar, always on my agenda. So that's me going, like, justifying what I did. But if you didn't get your target, it's important that you don't just chase a target and book something else to do another event or another race. And there's quite a lot of people that will do that, so they'll not hit the target and they'll just chase the time and book another marathon. And they might have dropped out in races, which people do, but don't just chase it. If something goes wrong, there's been a reason that it's gone wrong. Reflect on it and then fix it, but it takes time to do that. And it might damage your confidence again if you enter another race, chase the target, and then don't get it again. So as a protection thing, yeah, I wouldn't recommend, if you didn't hit your target, chasing a time and getting suckered down in a time to try and chase some sort of goal or something like that. Yeah, and there's people I know that have chased goals. So Brian, for example, the local runner, mentor, legend, he was chasing 90 minutes for an half marathon, and he just kept getting bogged down in chasing this one particular time, and in the grand scheme of things it didn't matter to anyone but himself. But because he didn't get this 90 minutes time after time, it felt like a failure. And honestly, he's far from it. Like, he inspires so many people, but it's just about sticking on the routine, and eventually it'll fall into place and the time will happen. And it's same when people are chasing money, chasing targets, or other like number specific goals. And to be honest, it's all about just enjoying the process. And yes, I could be a critique of it. I'm chasing 2:25, but I'll be realistic and saying might not be the time just now, and it might happen next time. So yeah, those are like my 6 steps, like the week after a marathon. What should you do? And then obviously look for something else in the future, a long way away, and start building towards that. As runners, we all love goals. As people, we all love goals. So yeah, it's great to have them. You've up to lead around the bottom. Yeah.
Stuck on a nubbin.
Brilliant. Yeah, so that's episode 43, Cookies Rambles. You've joined me, Naomi and Bessie on a walk, look, around the field at the bottom of his house. We've seen a fox, we've seen a heron, we're circling some horses, like, beautiful, innit? And we spent the morning with Birdie and Nath and Kai watching Ruby smash the Abbey Dash.
To be let off, yeah.
Bessie has now had enough of being on the league. She's been off for so long, and Naomi's losing the battle, but Bessie's not won the war. So yeah, cheers for joining episode 43, and I'll see you next week.
Baby's drinking out of mama.
Oh, fantastic. I'll see you next week on Cookies Rambles. So see you in a bit, guys.
Bye.